The summer of 1984 was hotter than usual in our sleepy Ohio town. I had just turned 17, a restless teenager eager to escape the monotony of small-town life. My father worked at the local steel mill, my mother taught second grade, and my older sister, Lisa, had already left for college in New York. Life was predictable, almost painfully so, until the day I stumbled upon a secret that would shatter the fragile foundation of our family. It started with a simple errand. My mother sent me to retrieve an old photo album from the attic. As I climbed the narrow wooden steps, dust swirled in the air, disturbed by my presence. The attic smelled of age, wood, mothballs, and something else I couldn't quite place. Boxes were stacked haphazardly, labeled with faded ink, Christmas decorations, Lisa's baby clothes, Dad's old stuff. I found the photo albums easily, but curiosity got the best of me. My fingers brushed against an unmarked cardboard box shoved into the corner. Something about its placement felt intentional, as if it were meant to be hidden. I hesitated before pulling it toward me, my heart already hammering in my chest. Inside, I found old letters tied with a blue ribbon, brittle with age. The ink had faded, but as I unfolded the first letter, I saw my father's name, Richard, written in a delicate, unfamiliar script. My breath caught as I read the words beneath it. My dearest Richard. Not a day goes by that I don't think of you and the life we could have had. I know we made the right choice, but it doesn't make it any easier. He deserves to know the truth one day. I only hope you'll find the courage to tell him. The letter was signed, Eleanor. Eleanor. I racked my brain, but the name meant nothing to me. Who was she? And who was he? I dug deeper into the box, uncovering more letters, some dated as far back as the late 60s. Each one painted the same heartbreaking picture: my father had another life before us. A woman he loved. A child he left behind. My hands trembled as I reached the last item in the box, a black and white photograph. In it, my father, looking impossibly young, stood beside a woman with dark, wavy hair. She held a toddler in her arms, a boy with wide eyes and an unmistakable resemblance to my father. My stomach twisted. This wasn't just some past love affair. I had a half-brother. For days, I carried the weight of my discovery alone. I watched my father at the dinner table, his face lined with exhaustion but softened by my mother's presence. How could he live with such a secret? Did my mother know? Did Lisa? I couldn't stand the silence. One evening, while my father sat on the porch nursing a beer, I confronted him. Dad, who is Eleanor? My voice was steady, but my insides churned. His grip tightened around the bottle, knuckles whitening. He didn't answer immediately, just stared at the darkening sky. Finally, he exhaled, long and slow. Where did you hear that name? I told him about the letters, about the photograph. I expected anger, denial, anything but the look of pure sorrow that clouded his face. I was young, he said at last. It was before I met your mother. Eleanor and we were in love. But life, it doesn't always go the way you think it will. Her family moved away, and when she wrote to tell me she was pregnant, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. By the time I got the courage to find her, it was too late. She had married someone else. I told myself he was better off without me. You have a son, I whispered. A son who never knew you. I know, he said, voice thick with regret. And I've thought about him every single day. The following weeks were a blur of whispered conversations and late-night debates between my parents. My mother had known about Eleanor, but not about the child. She was hurt, but she loved my father too much to let it break them. With my insistence, my father found the courage to search for his lost son. It took months, but one autumn afternoon, a letter arrived from California. My half-brother's name was Daniel. He was 24. And he wanted to meet us. I still remember the day he arrived. He had our father's eyes, but there was something distant about him, as if he had spent his whole life searching for something he never knew he had lost. The reunion was cautious, tentative, but as we sat around the dinner table, sharing stories and laughter, I knew that no secret, no matter how painful, could erase the bond of family. That summer, I had set out to retrieve an old photo album. Instead, I found the missing piece of our family story. And though it changed everything, in the end, it brought us closer than ever before.